No, actually, I'm Brant. Hey guys, welcome back to Comic Frontline. This being Batman Day, September 26, 2015, I thought it would be fun and interesting to share my experience with Batman, how I first was introduced to the character, my love for the character as the years went on. So, my earliest that made sense. My earliest memory with Batman that I can think of would be the 60s television show. You know, I watched it in reruns when I was a little kid. Obviously, I was not born in the 60s. So, you know, in like the early 80s, I would watch reruns of the show, though. And I fell in love with just the campiness of that character. You know, as a kid, that's what the show was for. It was kind of geared that way. So, yeah, that was like my first introduction to Batman, I believe. And then there was the Super Friends cartoon, of course, and you had Batman there, and you had Batman and Robin starring on Scooby-Doo, doing that whole crossover thing. And as a kid, I was just, you know, these cool superheroes that everybody knows are like interacting with Scooby-Doo, and that's really cool to me. And the Super Friends was just this fun, terrible series once you're grown up and you see how bad the animation is, but it was a fun series when I was a kid. But, you know, I don't know, my love for Batman kind of grew through the ages as I matured and everything, and it's funny, my cousin used to be the Batman guy. He was not into comics like I was, but we both did start reading comics around the same time when we were like 8 years old, and I was like into like Iron Man, Spider-Man, and stuff like that, and he had all the Batman comics. So every time I go to his house, I would be like reading all his Batman comics and having fun with that. And I remember he had this big giant jumbo coloring book that was Batman, and we would sit down and just color Batman and Robin all the time. And then we would act out some of the scenes and stuff. My grandparents' house, they had a basement, and the stairs down in the basement was a really old house, and it had these rickety wooden stairs, and there was like these planks that on the side of it that we would sometimes like just jump through the holes down into the basement. Well, we would pretend like these two planks were the bat poles, so we would spin around them and then jump down into the basement, and then we would do the and then we would go get into chairs and pretend like we're driving the Batmobile, and we'd be fighting invisible bad guys and stuff. And it was just a fun memory, you know. And I kind of grew up with Batman as much as I did Spider-Man, which you guys know that I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, but Batman is like a very close second to me. When the Batman animated series came around, that was like a whole new world for me. Yeah, I'd read that kind of Batman in comics and stuff before, but it was like, oh my goodness, this is just, it totally compelled me. You know, I was engrossed in that entire world of the Batman the animated series, and I just fell more in love with the character as time goes on. And then of course there's the Tim Burton movies, which, you know, say what you will about Michael Keaton, I think in the movies he was one of the better Batman actors, and it was just this dark, gritty, but still fun and adventurous film franchise that kind of quickly went south. We won't talk about that. But, you know, and then as I got older and I started reading more and more mainstream comics and started dabbling over in DC, Batman was one of those titles that I just gravitated towards because, hey, it's Batman. And I fell in love with the whole Batman family. Tim Drake is my favorite Robin, and so I would read all kinds of stories with him. That was really when I was starting to heavily read Batman, was when Tim Drake came into the picture. After Jason Todd. I'd read the Jason Todd stuff too, but it was Tim Drake. And I don't know, there's just something about Batman. He's mysterious, he's strong and silent, and I always was kind of a loner kind of kid because I was kind of backward and into my own thing and didn't really fit in a lot of times. What?
Backward.
I was kind of backward and, you know, kind of shy and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, that kind of character appealed to me. If Spider-Man was this character that was kind of geeky, and he was that kind of side of it, and then Batman was this loner, you know, just, you know, got my own things going on, I'll detach myself kind of thing. And so it was like two sides of my personality, and it just kind of came together for me that way. And that's kind of what appealed to me. And then the mystery, I've always been a big fan of mystery, and there's a lot of mystery and ninja stuff, you know, martial arts. that kind of thing in Batman, which as a kid, you're always drawn to that kind of action and stuff. And then as I get older, it's the inner monologue and the narration in the Batman comics, and you see all these inner thoughts and this intelligence and this, all the skills that it takes to be Batman. And he's just one of the coolest characters in comics. No one can deny that. It's why he's so popular. It's why he's basically the flagship character for DC, even though Superman came first and is technically, the bigger character in, as far as, everybody in the world knowing and, you know what I'm trying to say. But, Batman just kind of overpowered that. He rose above that level and kind of just appeals to everyone on different levels. Batman is just so cool. And if you don't like Batman himself, there's all these different characters in the Batman side of the DC universe that, there's Batgirl and there's all the Robins and Nightwing and all these, Red Robin, Jason Todd, so many characters to love and to kind of find your personality or find your type of character in that whole world. So Batman means a lot to me. He's cool. He's suave. He's debonair. He's this guy that's just this average guy. He plays this rich guy. He is a rich guy, but he plays this super personality when he's in Bruce Wayne. But he's really this down-to-earth guy that cares about justice and morality and all this stuff. So it's this double life really resonates with people, and I think that's why Batman's cool. So I just wanted to share with you guys kind of my experience with Batman and my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave them in a comment below, and that's it. So happy Batman Day, everybody. Check out everything here on Frontline. Tune into the live show on Tuesday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Listen to it on iTunes if you miss it live. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.